The next lesson technically starts on page 14 in your notes packet, and it starts out with just writing the angle relationship for each pair of angles. What I would ask you to do is to pause the video, come back, and then check your answers that are listed here. This is just a brief review of naming. Starting on page 15 then, we're going to talk a little bit more about writing equations with angles. So if I look, remember the process from the other day. We're going to figure out our relationship first. We'll clump the angles, do a zip line, and then figure out what our new equation is, whether it's going to be blank equals blank or blank plus blank equals 180, because those are our only two options when we're working with parallel lines at a transversal. Here, if you look, we're not even really worried about the parallel lines. We're just looking at this relationship down here in which these two angles are a linear pair. Because of that, we know that x plus 46 is going to have to equal 180 degrees. So we can subtract the 46, and x is going to give us 134, so 134 degrees. In the next one, if we turn our paper a little bit, both angles are inside the parallel lines and they're on the same side of the transversal, so we would call them same side interiors. If we go ahead, clump, x is in the top right, I'm going to zip it up, top right here. X and 114 also make a linear pair here, so to get x, we're going to do 180 minus 114. With the more simple setups like this, where it's just x and a single number, you can either write the equation or you're welcome to just do a subtraction problem. When you do this, you're going to end up with 66, so x is 66 degrees. Down here in the bottom, angles are actually one's outside, one's inside, so they're not either exterior or interior. So if I look at my clumping here, they're both in the top left, which tells me this one just zip-lined right down here. So that means they're corresponding, because corresponding means they're in the same spot. Now, if I actually zip line, let's just say I zip this up, the 76 lands in the same spot, which tells me that those two are going to be equal to each other. So 4x minus 8 is equal to 76. Add 8 to both sides. 4x is equal to 84. Divide through by 4, and x is 21, so 21 degrees. In the next example, I'm going to turn my paper around this way. Both of them are on the inside, and they're actually on the same side of the transversal, so I would call these same side interiors. If I clump top right, that one's in the bottom, so I'm going to actually just clump and move the 10x to the top right here, cover up the bottom. These two, they're next to each other, they form a line, so it's called a linear pair here. So we're going to have blank plus blank equals 180. The two pieces are 10x and 140. And I'm going to subtract the 140, and 10x will be equal to 40. So we'll divide through by 10, and x is going to be equal to 4 degrees. A couple more examples here on the last page. I'm going to actually pause the video, and I'm going to fill them in as well. So you pause the video, and then you come back and check your answers. All right, here are my answers so far. In the first one, they're alternate interiors. I zip this up. They're across from each other, so they're equal. Solve for x. In the next one, they are same side exteriors. So what I did was I actually just moved the 78 because it was less to move. Notice they made a linear pair, so blank plus blank equals 180. Solve for x, I got 74. In the next one here, they are corresponding. They're actually located in the same spot. So if I zip the x over, they are equal to each other. And then here, they are alternate exteriors. If I move the x up, they're across from each other, which means they are also equal.